See here. I think I'm back live. Jorge, my good. How are you, sir? Avery, what's up, brother? Is that better? All right, we good now. Looks like we back hot. Jermaine Womack. What's up, Jermaine Womack? How are you, sir? All right, it's better. So we back in effect. Mason, my man, it's going good. Travado, what's up, brother? Not much, brother. Just playoff basketball. That's what we doing. What do I think about Luka? I think Luka is a generational talent, and I think that he's going to be great. Once he figures out the game, he's going to be great for a long time. The Trail, what's up, brother? What's up, Nemo? Monday's going good. I think that the Clippers, I think they gave us everything that they had on Saturday night. I don't think they have anything left tonight. I think this thing is finished tonight. So my thoughts on Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace is an all-time great defender. He's in the Hall of Fame strictly off defending and rebounding, and he's one of the best to ever do it. And he wasn't a big guy. Ben Wallace about 6'8", 6'9". So Ben Wallace wasn't a 6'10", 6'11" guy. He was tough as nails. What's up, Brian? He was tough as nails. And what else can you say about him? He's an all-time great. Miles, what's up, brother? I think that the Ball family is seriously trying to take over the NBA, and I think it's a great thing, man. I do. What LeVar Ball is doing with those boys, man, I think it's a great thing. I do. E, what's up, brother? I think the Rockets are a ways away. They got a lot of work to do with. They got John Wall on the books for how long they got him on the books for. They have to decide who they're going to build that team around. I love Wood, and I think he's a really good piece, but the Rockets got a lot of work to do. Ed, what's up, brother? How you doing? How truly skilled was Steve Francis? Steve Francis would be awesome today. He had a money mid-range game. Steve Francis was fast as lightning. He had ridiculous hops. He had one of those games. Once he got going, he was pretty impossible. Him and Coutinho Mobley as a backcourt, they would be just as good as any backcourt today. They'd be Dame and CJ. They would be Lowry and DeRozan. They would be just as good as any of those guys. So I think Ben Simmons has all-time great potential. He's in his head right now. That's the problem that we're having with him. How far do I think the Mets could go? Well, we were ahead of schedule 5 years ago when we were in the World Series. I was flabbergasted by that. We ended up losing to Kansas City. That was the year that I actually had us making a wild card. And then the next year I had us challenging for the NL East with the Dark Knight. And in 2017 I had us challenging for the pennant. So I think where the Mets are right now in first place, and like I said before, Jake DeGrom got the best arm in the game. So the ceiling for the Mets is we can definitely challenge for the pennant. I don't think we can just challenge for the National League East. I think we can challenge for the pennant because I think we're just as good as the Dodgers. I do. Our offense isn't as good, but what we make up for in lack of offense, we make up for in pitching. And I know who Clayton Kershaw is in the playoffs, and I know at any point he can go to pieces. I know that for a fact. I don't think Tracy McGrady would have been better than Jordan if he hadn't gotten hurt. No, I don't think that. And I don't think that because as good as Tracy McGrady was, he didn't have that. He was awesome. He just didn't have. He was on a team that lost 18 straight games. No. Short. I don't think Dame's going to leave at it on his own volition. I think that you guys are going to run him out of there. You guys are going to put so much pressure on the Trailblazers organization that it's going to be so much that he's going to have to get traded. I don't think he wants to go. So I'm not a T-Mac hater. I love T-Mac. I just don't think he had that in order to be that guy. I'm having a hard time believing that Kobe Bryant would have been on the team in his prime losing 18 straight games. I don't think he would have allowed that. I don't. I did see what Scottie Pippen said, and I think Scottie is trying to sell some books. I think that's the most important thing with Scottie Pippen. Yes, Caesar, I am a hip hop head, but I haven't listened to any hip hop recently. I mean, I'm a big Drake guy, but Biggie's my favorite, and Biggie been gone over 25 years, and I still listen to Ready to Die. That NL West is incredible. With San Diego look like a freight train. I'm a huge Machado fan. I'm living, young Mamba. How you living? Nice shot, yo. Nice shot. Now, what you're seeing early from the Clippers is you're seeing desperation basketball. They are facing an elimination game. So they're going to come out and give everything that they have. They're not going to come out slow. They're not going to come out pacing themselves. They're facing an elimination game, and they're in a desperate situation. So that's what you're going to see from them. You're going to see desperate basketball. Trey, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Mr. Swan, how you doing, my man? How good was David Robinson? He was an all-time great, man. I can't say enough about David Robinson. He was the most beautiful athlete at that size that I've ever seen. I'd never seen anybody put together like that. I'd never seen anybody at that size with that kind of athleticism and that kind of physique run like that and perform like that. He was incredible. Gabriel, what's up, brother? Biggest NFL draft bust. And one, biggest NFL bust. I was high on Akili Smith when he came in. I thought Jamarcus Russell would have been better than what he was. Jaden McDaniels. Is he top 10? I am a Kendrick Lamar fan. I've heard some stuff from Kendrick Lamar. He's dope. Well, Johnny Manziel, he definitely made it clear to us that he wasn't doing his homework. And I have no respect for guys like that. I just don't. I take offense to guys that just show up, especially at that level. I take offense to guys at that level that just show up. I have no respect for those guys because as hard as it is to get there, and for you to get there and not put in the work, not even to be great, but just to stay there, is a testament of who you are, man. And I have no respect. I have very little respect for guys like that. Very little. Do I like 80s rock music? I dig Bruce Springsteen. Yeah, he was dope. My favorite Drake album, Laugh Now, Cry Later. Do I think Bronny's son is a superstar in the league and a possible future MVP? He's in the 11th grade, man. Yeah, I don't even know if he's shaved yet. So we don't know who this dude is. We have no idea who he is. Antonio, OG, no what? What do you mean no? I think that the Clippers are playing desperation basketball so far, and I expected them to come out like this. And all the Suns have to do at this point is weather the storm, because they're going to come back. Laugh Now, Cry Later is not the title of the album. That's not what I meant. I'm sorry. What is the album with the motto on it? That's my favorite one. I don't think Ben Simmons is going to go anywhere. I think he's going to be in Philadelphia. Take Care, is that it? Yeah, that's my favorite album. If You're Reading This, It's Too Late was a dope album too. Thank Me Later, that was also a dope album. I think that Thank Me Later was in 16, or was that before? Dame to LA. Well, what do the Lakers have to give Portland that Portland is going to say, okay, we'll take that? Now, remember, the Lakers don't have any first-round picks over the next 3 years. They don't have any. So what do they have to give the Lakers? Three of the next 4 years, the Lakers don't have a first-round pick. Because because getting Anthony Davis, they had to give up their ones. What's up, Jazz? I think Kanye West is an all-time great. Lyrically, Kanye West is up there with the best of them. I think that Lil Wayne lyrically is also up there with the best of them. He's not in my top 5, but I think he's up there with the best of them. Am I an Andre 3000 fan, George? Absolutely. Andre 3000 is exactly that. He's a guy that he's the way Andre 3000 sounds, he sounds like he went to the year 3000 and he came back here. That's what he sounds like. I'm a huge Andre 3000 fan, no doubt. What's up, DX? Yo. Slim is in my top 5 MCs of all times. Well, summer just started tough, so it's going good. My top 5 MCs of all times, not in any particular order: Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, Rakim, and Slim. I think the Jason Kidd hire in Dallas, I think that's really good for Dallas. And I think it's going to be good for Luka too, because he's got a floor general who can show him how to be better at being a facilitator, at being a playmaker. Good shot. No, the sun's not coming out cold. This is just the Clippers playing desperation basketball. Let this thing let this thing simmer down. Luca, what's up, brother? No, I don't have Pac in my top five. Bro, I'm originally from Jersey. Prime Melo or Prime Durant? Well, I think KD was a better scorer in his prime. He was more efficient than Carmelo. He had more stuff with him than Carmelo. Even though Carmelo was, it's a two, his foot was on the line. It's not a three, it's a two, his foot was on the line. Even though Carmelo scored a lot of points and he didn't waste any time getting to what he needed to get to, I think KD had more in his bag. I think KD has more in his bag. Good shot. I got to do some more homework on this year's draft class, but I haven't been watching much college basketball. And the reason why I haven't been watching much college basketball because I'm more of a pro basketball guy, and I know these guys are the future, but these guys don't really stay in college long, so I don't get to know them. Thanks, Silent. I appreciate you, brother. I'll do what I can. Sure. Yes, you can, sir. Got you. Dre, I don't know about that, but you know. Stephen A. Smith is I mean, he's an OG. He's been doing it for such a long time. He's not one of those guys who that lacks credibility. You know, Stephen A. Smith has a lot of good takes. I think that a lot of the stuff that he says has value, just like Max. But these guys work on TV, just like Skip. Skip is the guy he's the guy in your school that he's pushing you around, but he really wants to be friends with you. And that's who Skip is when it comes to LeBron. How bad he talks about LeBron and how LeBron is the weakest athlete mentally that he's ever seen. Well, compared to who? Who is he the weakest compared to? Is he the weakest compared to Jordan? Because, I mean, if I'm the weakest compared to the all-time great, then I'm not doing that bad. Nope. Max is a really educated dude, and Max has some really good takes too. But I mean, I listen to Max sometimes, and his logic is based on numbers a lot. Which I'm a numbers guy too, but he bases most of his stuff off numbers, and it kind of skews his intellect. Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all, being called OG. Have I ever heard what, George? How close is the gap between LeBron and Jordan? I think it's like this. It's not what everybody says it is. No way. Shoot the ball. Indeed. Got rebound. My favorite NBA jersey of all time. That's a good one. Greatest hip hop album ever made, To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar. Wow. You ever heard Life After Death by Biggie? Nice shot, man. Even though I think Ready to Die was, I don't think Ready to Die was better than Life After Death, but because it was a different Biggie, it was definitely up there. Greatest rap album of all times. That's a good one, man. I thought Ready to Die was. I thought that broke the mold when I heard that. Jess, I think I'm good on moderators right now. Oh man. I think Tatum could have a better career than Booker. He's bigger. He's just as skilled. I think he's an underrated defender and rebounder. And they're basically building that team around him. When KD joined the Warriors, my first reaction was, you a sucker. I'd be lying if I said it was anything else. I thought he was a sucker. I was not happy with him at all. When I see Tatis, he has all-time great potential. I think him signing that contract, I think that contract's going to be outdated in a couple of years. So I'm sure that he has an out after a couple of years, because there's no way he's going to honor 10 years. Here the Suns come. Like I told you, they coming. You know, the Clippers are playing desperation basketball, and that's who they are right now. So, well, Avery, to give you an idea how good Doc was, there is no Jordan without Doc. There is no Kobe Bryant. There is no LeBron James. There is no Tracy McGrady. None of these guys exist without Doc. What they did was, so Jordan, there's no Jordan. None of these guys exist without Dr. J. Dr. J was the guy who, all the stuff you saw Jordan doing, it wasn't as incredible as it was. Imagine never seeing anything like that. At least with Doc, we actually saw something like that. Before Doc, we had never seen anything like what Doc was doing. The guy jumping from the free throw line and going behind the backboard and ducking behind. We'd never seen anything like that. So, MF Doom, Kanye, Andre 3000. I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'm good with that. I like that. I like Andre 3000 in that top five. I'm good because Andre 3000 is an incredible lyricist. Got to get something good here. Good. Nope, that's off. Oh, good shot. Good shot, Richard Jackson. Absolutely. What team is one piece away from being a contender? The Knicks. I think the Knicks are one guy away. Good shot. I think the Knicks are one guy away from being the front runners. Like if the Knicks had Kawhi Leonard, they'd be the favorites in the East. I'm convinced of that. Jay-Z, Pop, Nas, Big. Jay-Z, Pop, Nas, Big, Rakim. That's my list. Except Pac ain't in it. Slim Shady's in it. That's my list. Nice job. If the New York Knicks can land Lonzo, I think they're definitely on their way, no doubt. I think Tracy McGrady, I've talked about this already. I think Tracy McGrady is an all-time great talent. Injuries derailed him, and there was that was missing from him. George, you think he got a lot of mediocre albums? Slim Shady has sold the most rap albums in the history of rap music. No artist has ever done what Slim Shady has done. So, you think T-Mac was more talented than Kobe? All right, I can get with that. I can definitely get with that. 2012 Heat versus the 2002 Lakers. I think that Miami Heat team was a juggernaut, and I thought that even though that was Shaq in his prime, Wade and James and Chris Bosh, they were unstoppable at that point. No sales do not equate to quality. There's a lot of albums that I've heard that they went platinum, and I'm like, that was kind of corny. He's had more good albums than bad. No, Lord Finesse was awesome. I haven't watched soccer in a long time. I used to watch soccer when my daughter played, but I haven't watched in a while. Going good, seriously. How you doing? Short. I don't think pro basketball should have a salary cap. I don't think pro football should have a salary cap. I hate the salary cap because essentially what you're telling me is that there's a cap on what I should be making. It's not my fault, and I shouldn't be responsible for you in Minnesota not being able to grow your business. That's not my problem if I live in Phoenix. That's not my problem if you live in Sacramento and you can't grow your business, and I can grow my business in Miami. That shouldn't be my problem. I thought the Trailblazers had awesome jerseys, and my favorite jerseys of all time. I'll give you a jersey. Wait right here. I'll be right back. You want a favorite jersey of all time? This is my favorite jersey of all time. Yes, it is. And I'm pretty certain that you don't have this. This is my favorite jersey. This is awesome. When I got this from my lady, man, she hooked this up for me, and I was like, yo, this is awesome. So that's my favorite. Now, where were we? How did I get that, OG? My lady bought it for me for my birthday. Not for my birthday. Was it for my birthday? I think it was for my birthday. My lady bought me that. So, and I knew that when I got it, I was like, nobody has this. That's why I haven't worn it, because I'm kind of like letting it sit on ice. But Well, my shoe collection, like I told you, I got a different shoe collection, so that you'll be able to see that. You'll be able to see that in the future. There's a woman. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Dre. There is a woman. What are my thoughts on Clay? Clay is one of the best catch and shoot players that I've ever seen. I'm doing this for a living right now. I'm trying to make this a living. Well, I remember that Cleveland team when Kobe, when the Lakers were in championship contention from 07 to 10, James was 4-1 against him during that time. So it wouldn't surprise me if, even though Kobe he was a vet at that point. Good day, mate. Love from Australia. Even though Kobe was in his prime and he just looked like he wasn't to be stopped, I think James would have gave him a run for his money. Showtime, what's up, brother? No, I don't believe Pacquiao got robbed against Mayweather. I think Mayweather was smart. I think he's the best defensive boxer that I've ever seen. I also think that he got Mayweather. Mayweather got Pacquiao. He got a different Pacquiao. Hang on for a second. Super chat donations. Look into that. What was my initial reaction to Kobe's incident? I talked about this earlier. I got a buddy of mine. He lives out on the West Coast. His name is K Ice. It was a Sunday morning. I had just came back from working out, and he hits me with the Bleacher Report text that Kobe Bryant has died in a helicopter crash. And I cursed him out. My first initial response to him was, yo, that shit ain't funny. What the is wrong with you? I was not happy with him at all. And he said, he ends up texting me back. He goes, yo, who's laughing? So I immediately turned the TV on, and to my dismay, this is going on. This is happening. And I was beside myself with grief, man, because I felt like I did when I was a kid and Magic Johnson got on television and told us that he was HIV positive. I felt like I was getting robbed. Like, what's going on, man? Why are you doing? Whoever's doing this, why are you doing this? This is not okay. This is terrible. So I think Mayweather stayed away from him enough. Cousins might save these guys tonight. Good defense. He does that all the time. That's Paul George's game. I think Andre Roberson would have been a really good player defensively had he not had knee problems. I think that he would have stuck around for a long time. Steve Francis was a better athlete than Marbury. I think Marbury was a better all-around point guard than Steve Francis was. I think Scotty trying to sell some books. Good shot and one. That's a foul. You gotta let him land. What it's called as referees, it's called protecting the shooter. Once the shooter goes up, he's got to be able to come down, and you can't come under him, and you have to be able to let him come down. And DeMarcus Cousins was in that space. That's why that's a foul. Is Kyle Lowry a Hall of Famer in my opinion? Yes, he does. Yes, he does get in. His numbers are better than Mo Cheeks, and he was on the All-League defensive team a number of different times, and his team won the NBA championship with him as the lead guard. Nice. Nah, Dre, I tried coaching basketball. I'm not a coach. I tried it. I do think Vince Carter lived up to his talent. He played 20 years. The average pro career is 4 years in the NBA. He played 5 times that. Absolutely, Mark Jackson does. Those were his teams. It's basically like what that's the equivalent to is it's you building a house and me moving into it. You built the house. I'm just going to move into it and put my own furniture in it. Nice job, big man. I think that Mayweather stayed away from Pacquiao enough not to get hurt. That's what I mean when I say Mayweather as a defensive boxer stayed on the defense. He's one of the best that I've ever seen. He doesn't put himself in situations where he can get hurt. I think that I didn't see what Jalen Rose said. No, I didn't. I do think Monty Williams is the best coach in the NBA. I think he did the best job this season. Everybody, the people that I talk to talk about how they were on their way and they were coming. Phoenix was in next to last place 2 years ago. Yes, Braun is. I think before James hangs it up, he's going to be in the top 5 all time in assists, and I think he's going to be in the top 10 all time in rebounds, and I think he's going to be the all time leading scorer in NBA history. There's going to be no question about him. What's up, Jeremy? How you running, brother? Yeah, Fuga, I saw that, man. Thank you. I did see that. I don't know if I'm as good as those guys, Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp, but I think that I think I could talk basketball with the best of them. I do believe that. I think I could talk sports with the best of them. Now, on that platform, we'll see. But if I had the opportunity, yes, I would do it. My thoughts on Jerry West, I had somebody tell me that Damian Lillard is maybe the most clutch player in NBA history. And I'm thinking to myself, there's a guy that's still alive walking around, and his nickname is Mr. Clutch. Jerry West averaged 30 a game for his career in the playoffs. $30 a game for his career in the playoffs. He won the finals MVP, and his team lost. That's how good Jerry West was. Good shot. Here they come. Well, he's the coach for Giannis right now. Absolutely. In the future, will he be the coach? To be honest, we don't know about that. But Coach Bud's problem is his inability to adjust in game. That's where he lacks. I think he's a really good X and O guy. Excuse me. I think he's a really good X and O guy. I think that his ability to adjust in games, like Ty Lue, he knows how to throw different lineups at you. Yeah, Jerry West was 1-9. That's a fact. And 8 of those 9 losses were to quite possibly the greatest team in the history of the NBA, who had the greatest run in the history of the NBA. That's a fact. So, Ty Lue has what I was saying was Ty Lue has a knack of throwing different lineups at coaches and slowing the game down when it's necessary, speeding the game up, recognizing mismatches. And Coach Bud doesn't adjust as he should. It was 1-8. That's who Jerry West is. 1-8. Lost 7 times to the Celtics and then lost to the Knicks once. Down by 2, Kobe, MJ, or LeBron. James. My thoughts on people saying that Kobe Bryant should be the NBA logo is disingenuous, and I've had a conversation about this earlier that I haven't heard before Kobe Bryant was killed. I didn't hear ever that he was the best player ever or he's the best player of all time, that he should be the logo. If you felt like that about this guy, why wasn't you talking about that? Why wasn't you talking about him like that when he was here, man? That really bothers me because I think in terms of a talent, I think he's a top 10 talent. But if you felt like that about him, man, to talk about him like this now when he ain't around, it's just so disingenuous, and I don't like it because it wasn't like that when he was around. It wasn't. From David Robinson. David Robinson was a better athlete. He was a better offensive player, and he was a better rebounder than both of those guys. And he was a better defensive player, too. He wasn't a much better defensive player than Alonzo Mourning, but he was a better defensive player than Alonzo Mourning. Kobe Bryant is not in my top 5. No, he is not. What's up, Les? I did not see David Thompson play. My uncle saw him play, and he thought he was incredible. Nice shot. To give you an idea how good David Thompson was, when Michael Jordan was inducted into the Hall of Fame, David Thompson was the guy he selected to welcome him in. That's how good he was. Best running back of all time, sweetness. And I say that with conviction, and I don't stutter with that one. You can't donate yet, Steven, because I don't have enough watch hours yet. That's what I'm working on. Larry O.B., what's up, brother? Kobe's not in my top 5 because Kobe's not in my top 10 because he dominated. He just didn't dominate as much as the guys in my top 10 did. Patrick Ewing was a better player than Alonzo Mourning. Yes, he was. So again, Kobe's not in my top 5 because the guys in my top 5, Kobe dominated. He just didn't dominate like those guys did. Which era do I like watching the most? The era I grew up in. I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. I do think the Jazz can win it, man. I think that I don't think that they're that far away. I don't think they're as far away as people think they are. So a gold medal. A gold medal is not. A gold medal is more important because it symbolizes your country. I remember Kobe Bryant turned down going to the Olympics in 2000, and the Utah Jazz had a guy from Turkey named Mehmet Okur. Kobe Bryant turned down playing on the Olympic team in 2000 because he got married that summer. And Mehmet Okur, who is from Turkey, Mehmet Okur said, if Turkey was in the Olympics and I was getting married, my wedding would have gotten pushed back. That's how important playing in the Olympics are internationally. So, do I have a favorite player of all time? Olajuwon is up there. I do think Len Bias would have been an all-time great, and I would have loved to have seen him. Oh, good shot. Best game I ever watched. I've seen a few of them. I really enjoyed that game 4 clincher when the Bulls wiped the floor with Detroit, the bad boys. I love that. Game 4 of the Lakers coming back when Robert Horry, game 4 of the Western Finals in 2002, when Robert Horry hit that buzzer beater. That was big. They were down by 26 at one point, came back and won. I think Trey Lance is the future of the 49ers. I do think that. Nope. Mm-mm. Yes, he did. That's the 5th time. And they're not doing nothing else with Mars. And he's not doing anything else. He's doing the same thing. Going to the left block and turning in the middle of the lane and falling away. That's all he's doing. That's a good idea. I think I will do that. Yes, I will. I think Ray Allen is a better catch and shoot guy than Klay Thompson. Yes, I do believe that. Ray Allen's the best catch and shoot guy that I've ever seen. So I think Paul Pierce is an all-time great. I think that if Carmelo played on that Celtic team, they would have done just the same. What do I think about Paul George? Has impressed me these entire playoffs. Yes, he has. I don't know, man. Aaron Rodgers is up there pretty high in terms of talent. Well, let's keep that streak going, man. Let's definitely keep that streak going. Do I watch any TV series? Yeah. Let's see, The Wire was one of my favorite shows. Power was my favorite show. What's up, Austin? Reggie Miller, great catch and shoot guy. Absolutely. Dale Ellis, Craig Hodges, Larry Bird, Steve Kerr, all great catch and shoot guys. Ray's the best that I've ever seen, though. Top 5 shooters of all time in no particular order: Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Ray Allen, Reggie Miller, Steve Kerr. Who's the most overrated player ever? That's a good question. Jason Kidd. Yeah. Pager. You want me to say Pager's name? Page is a great catch and shoot guy. Absolutely. He is. Do I think the Celtics can get somewhere in the next few years? They've been somewhere. The Celtics have been to the Eastern Conference Championship twice in the last 4 years. You guys are not bums. You're not that far away. You took a step back this season because Jaylen Brown got hurt. And Kemba broke down. But the Celtics are not that far away. You have your franchise player in Tatum. You absolutely have that. So, no doubt. That's not a hot take. Dame Lillard is not the best deep-range shooter of all times. No, he isn't, because he wasn't always shooting like that. Steph was always shooting that way. That was his game. Dame just developed that over the last couple of years. He's not a better deep-range shooter than Steph. He's not. Now, if you think so, right? If you think so, I'm interested to know what gives you that idea. What about Dame's being a deep range shooter that gives you the idea that he's the best ever? I don't think Dame is a top 3 shooter all time. I think he's a great shooter. I think he can go down in history at some point as a top 10 shooter. Elite, I think that Tyson Fury is a better boxer all around. Vince Carter has the best dunk package. No. Oh. So I'm going to take your advice, and I'm going to start posting some analysts during the day about games and my takes on what's going on in the basketball world, and I think that'll be able to not just get me some watch hours, but that'll get me more connected to you guys, and I hope to see you guys soon. So I got to get going. So it's good to talk to you guys again, and we'll do this again tomorrow night because Milwaukee and Atlanta is getting it back on. So, but we'll definitely do it again tomorrow night. No question about it. Good to see you guys. And if I come on early, if I come on tomorrow during the day, I'll get with you to let you know that I'm coming on early. So it's good to see you guys, and we'll do it again tomorrow night. Take it light, guys.